suck that he doesn't really even know that well, I think.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like to me when I'm
I saw
scrolling the
that.
chat. I'm like, oh man, that's brutal.
All right. So so Deckard Cain has been announced last Friday, and we brought on Ganjin because we wanted to have three master type support mains talk about him because I think that this is a big deal. That because I think this is actually what I think a year ago Blizzard said they wanted to make supports be more of a playmaker type of character or type of character. And I think this is, because obviously we got that with Stukov, we got that a little bit with Ana and Alexstrasza, but now we actually definitely have it, I think, with Deckard Cain. So let's go to
I said that to
okay.
you.
What? Who
You
said
saw
what to
that
me?
line.
What line?
What line?
That 1 year
Playmaker
ago
line?
thing.
I haven't talked to you on with our vocal tones in since the last show. What are you talking
Vocal
about?
Our
tones.
vocal tones?
Vocal
You
tones.
singing to him or something?
Sounds
like you're lying.
Is
Don't
this
stop talking like that.
Serenading him.
Yeah.
We haven't audibly communicated since last fortnight.
Yeah.
Sound like Clinton, dude. That's like some Clinton talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. First of all, when did you talk to me? You didn't talk to me.
That could have been someone else. My mistake.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Jeez, fuck.
But anyway,
Man, I'm getting shade from a diamond player nowadays. Okay.
Holy shit.
Let's go to let's go to Goon on his thoughts on Deckard
That's
Cain.
better than you'll ever be in your dreams.
Hey, 2-0. I'm 2-0 though. I have the balls to play in the Bush League though.
That is true.
Carried by a Masters and a Diamond player. Okay.
Anyways, Deckard Cain. The character, okay, cool, whatever. It's a nice little meme. The kit, I'm pretty excited about. There's a lot of controlling space, which is a resource in Heroes of the Storm that a lot of people don't consider. Space in team fights, around objectives, corridors, things like that. Being able to push people away, set things up, slow things down. I think that's pretty cool. I've wanted more abilities, more things in the game like that, where you can manipulate the battlefield or the opponents in an area to create advantages for your team instead of just I'm Malfurion, here's a Q, I'm gonna spam W a couple times. I think this is a pretty cool kit that this guy has, and dropping potions or being able to throw, it's all pretty cool. I'm excited to see how strong he's gonna be or weak. I mean, to see his viability in the game. But I think it's a good addition, definitely.
What do you think, Scott? Oh, go ahead, Bacon.
I mean, ever since they took away the wave clear and the some of the campability, like from Rhaegar and stuff, it's always been about the healing and the utility of the supports now. And think about when Malfurion or Stukov is most effective is when they're using their utility abilities. It's not really their healing. So it's when Stukov uses his root with silence when he's the most oppressive, or it's when Malfurion gets that sick root off into a Twilight Dream. And Deckard Cain has 3 pretty good CC abilities, and one of them's a heroic, granted, but the amount of control that he gains from his abilities, it's nothing like we've seen before. And I'm pretty excited. Like I was one who was completely against the idea of Deckard Cain. I mean, we all know the last couple episodes I was pretty opinionated, but I am willing to completely change my opinion, and I think Deckard Cain, like I'll have to bite the bullet and really give him a honest try.
Right on.
All right, go ahead, Scott. What do you think?
Well, first off, I really love his kit. I really love that he has stay a while and listen. Anybody who's played Diablo has heard him say that many a time.
It had to be in there.
Yeah, exactly. It had to be in there. He's also got the Herodric Cube, which is like a iconic part of Diablo as well. So that's pretty cool.
It upgrades to Kanai's Cube, which is what it does in Diablo 3, which is just beautiful in talents.
Yeah, so his kit's pretty awesome. He throws out health potions, also Diablo 2 signature. So the kit's really cool. His zone control, as everybody's touched on, it seems like he has huge zone control because I mean nobody's been able to try him yet, but just from watching the animations, it looks like those areas that they cover are huge compared to like, anything else we've seen. Each one of his abilities is like way bigger than a Malfurion's upgraded roots. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how it plays out, and if his I wouldn't be surprised if that gets nerfed.
I'm excited to see how compositions change in the competitive environments. Like, okay, now we have all these extra tools available in one hero that we haven't had before. How can we manipulate the rest of our draft to be able to cover the things like, sustain or whatever, mainly sustain, I suppose. But how are the drafts going to look when this guy comes out, a couple months from now? Will we still see the same picks? Will we still see the Maevs or the Genjis? Or I don't know. I'm pretty excited because this is like, it's a weird kit. Looks powerful, and I mean, if you can use him to plug up to bring in all the utility, plug up, bring in all the utility. I mean, that might open up heroes like Chen or something to come back, But
all right, so Tyburn, what do you think about Deckard Cain at the lower levels?
So I think there's going to be a lot of confusion on the potions. Since he doesn't technically heal anyone directly, I can see some character taking another lower health character's potion.
No, you can throw a potion at somebody and it hits them and they get
it lands
healed.
on them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. But it looks like from all the previews that he kind of like lays them down in an area, and then characters can kind of maybe like take it by accident. Like maybe you throw it, maybe you don't throw that accurately and it lands somewhere near the character you wanted to, and then someone else takes it. I can see a lot of that. But I do like his ability to zone control. I think, like Scott said, the range and like how big the spells are like really, really, really powerful. I think he's going to be really good. And also his trait goes off of staying with the team. There's a lot of team fighting. I think he's going to be really strong. And I think that stay a while and listen and the upgraded 20 is really strong as well because it silences afterwards. So
silences and blinds, right?
Yeah.
That ability seems stupid strong. That you could silence. It's AoE is huge, so you could silence a whole team, and meanwhile your team picks off, one guy because the damage breaks it, blows him up. And if you're doing pretty good, maybe you still have some more time to blow up somebody else before everybody else comes out of that sleep, because it says channels for 3 seconds and then like 2 seconds afterwards, so you could be slept for 5 seconds and you could hit a whole team. That seems stupid strong.
That seems like a hero physio thing to do.
What you mean, like CC the whole team and win?
No. Well, no. He'll lose, but like, because it's hero physio. But like, he'll just try and troll. I feel like that's a really good troll talent.
Well, but if it's the best talent, it's not a troll. It's just a good talent.
It's just being good, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Deckard Cain troll hero. That's a.
I use sound barrier. Low. I'm such a troll. I deny damage. I don't think that's a troll.
And they also said he can heal himself with the potions as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember they announced that.
There's some definitely his stay a while and listen definitely map specific though. If you think about it, the obvious
versus
example
Lornado?
Yeah.
When do you go Lornado?
What?
I thought when do you go Lornado?
We're not talking about Lornado, Tarban. We're talking about the stay a while and listen.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Right now
I'm
talking about
listen, not be like picked every single time.
It's a sleep, right? And you can't re-sleep once the player takes damage, right? And let's say Infernal Shrines, you're setting up, and they're already on the monsters, and the monkeys are gonna attack the enemy heroes, so they will wake up.
I see what you mean.
Also, you can't use it in lane because the minions will attack heroes, right? So this ability, it's kind of specific, even if it's friendly to the heroic, because you can't like strictly just use it in lane because minions will, stupidly attack heroes. There's things like Spider Queen. There's not a lot of lanes where it's free from minions because it's such a small map. It's gonna be very hard to find spots where you get great value out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a map like Battlefield of Eternity, when you're fighting in the middle, that'll be a great place for stay a while. But
Volskaya on the points, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it has huge potential. I think it's gonna be as impactful as like Mosh Pit, but way easier to land, basically. That AoE is pretty big, especially the enemy team has like, say, a dive comp where they got 3 or 4 melee and you're hitting like 3 of them, which would be pretty easy to do.
After he was the hero trailer was released on Friday, I said in Discord that, well, this is the opportunity for Scott, Goon, and Bacon to carry now with a support character, because I feel like this is one of the rare ones that allow you to carry. What do you guys think about that statement?
I've already been carrying. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
You know what I mean.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know what I mean.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, I'm sure I can make plays. We can all make plays and do cool stuff with Deckard Cain. The thing is, do our allies know what the hero does, and do they understand what his strengths, weaknesses are? Are they going to be feeding? Do they think they're going to get a divine shield out of me or something? It's going to come down to that.
Let's be honest. A lot of the time. If you're carrying as a support, your allies are also following up on what you do and closing on what you set up. So a lot of support's carry is setting up your teammates.
Let me rephrase. So it allows you to carry as a as more of like an initiator, right? You're kind of like a Stukov that allows you to initiate certain types of things. If you're a Rhaegar, you're beholden to what your team does, right? You're obviously hanging out in the back line, then you get the kills when targets are like low health, right? But I feel like Deckard Cain is more of a initiator. And he can do more things and actually create good situations for fights to go a certain way, while most supports are just more like reactionary.
I think he's gonna follow up a lot. He's gonna follow up on the tank's initial crowd control, because his 2 abilities, the Heraldric Cube and the Scroll of Sealing, take like a little bit of time to come out. So those abilities can be somewhat easily dodged, or if you're initiating and you're too close, you get blown up while you're trying to get these things off.
But out of the roster of the current supports, he probably has the best potential to initiate, right?
Well, Stukov and Malfurion are both pretty good, which is why they're some of the top tier healers right now, too.
Maybe he'll fit right in.
Yeah, I think he'll contend with those 2 very strongly.
Stay a while and listen. It's really similar to a Siren. There's a Naga in Dota 2, and she has like a Siren's Wail. I forgot what the exact name is, but it's basically like a really large range where she's sings and puts the enemy to sleep.
Dota 2, that was in Dota All-Stars. I remember that ability.
Yeah. So it's very similar. And, the enemy team rushes out, sets out their little perfect combo, kind of like what we do with Medivh's Leyline Seal right now. But it could be very similar to abilities like that and Void Prison. And
just imagine like a team trying to run into a bush and you're standing there and you just hit like all 5 of them. Like, what kind of setup does that give you?
Insane. APOC right under that, dude. Oof, that's the freest APOC you'll ever get.
All right, so I'll back. Do you have anything to add?
I do, because we were talking about how great he is, but we should talk about what his deficiencies are. And number 1, he has no life-saving ultimate. Like, if you're near death, Cain's not helping you, right? Another thing, he probably does absolutely 0 damage, which is probably great for Fringe, a 5 healer that's expected to do no damage, but like he has an auto attack.
Morales and Ana levels, you're saying?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, he has an auto attack that's melee range, and it's probably for no damage. He does nothing in terms of damage for your team. And to me, those are the two big problems. Is that if he has no cleanse, that I can tell. He also has no way of saving someone's life.
Or himself, no ice block from what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, he has CC for himself, but his damage is going to be 0, and also his ability to help someone is limited because you have to have that person walk into a potion, which they may not be able to do.
Like, yeah, that's what I was kind of saying.
Or they throw a potion backwards and they run forward, like shit, and the potion's being wasted.
But I think the balance in that is it seems like his healing numbers are out of control. Don't you think?
Seems like it.
When you get all 5, yeah. When one person gets all 5.
When you get all the little upgrades, and if you take into account his trait, which gives you the 50% cooldown reduction if you're standing next to somebody, and his heal's already on a 3-second cooldown. I mean,
yeah,
it seems like a lot.
Didn't someone say in Discord that like if you get all 5 of those, it's like an ancestral, like on a 13-second cooldown or something like that, like the amount of healing you get?
Yeah, what they showed on Greymane looked like 75% of his life.
Yeah.
Well, it says that one of his weaknesses is mobility. Does he like not mount or something? Like what does that mean?
He just doesn't have movement abilities. He just runs around. You can't escape. It's like Stukov having no mobility.
Oh, okay.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
Stukov at least has massive shove and swipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Deckard Cain has Lorenado and Stay a While and Listen. That doesn't save him all the time.
Question for Lorenado, can the allied team, like, does it path block them, or does it block everyone? It's the same as the boss's tornado.
Oh, where the allies got to run around it too. You can't run through it.
Yeah. I would assume they can path through. It would be annoying. It would be annoying though. Like the enemy's getting pushed away by a tornado, and you're just like trying to get to them, and
Yeah, it really seems like a zoning thing to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't zone out you. Like, is it like a force wall where both people are zoned by it?
I think that'd be bad design to do that, right? I mean,
control your teammates with it, push them around.
Yeah. Well, think of it. What about the Maiev Circle of Doom thing? Whatever. Can your allies
Circle
go in
of Doom?
No.
Yeah, but Lorenado has like its own like hitbox, right?
Yeah.
Schizo says there's such thing as friendly boss tornadoes. When you're pushing with the boss, that tornado doesn't do anything to you. So
that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also a 30-second cooldown. That's the benefit.
Really short.
Yeah. Compared to Stay a While 60?
That's it? 60? Oh man.
That's too low.
I was expecting 80 or 90. What the fuck?
I thought it was gonna be 100, dude. Damn.
What the fuck? This guy's OP as fuck.
And Schizo
so even if you don't get a lot of value out of your Stay a While and Listen, it's all right. It'll be back.
I mean,
it's a mosh pit. If you get value once, twice a game, that's all you need.
60 seconds is just use it to gank somebody. That literally has no punishment if you just use it willy-nilly.
So Schizo says he quotes a Blizzard someone, but he said in chat that we will consider a third ban on the validity of the next support. So it looks like it's possible that they could have third bans, maybe. But
when are they going to have the third ban? Is it going to be 2 at the start?
I don't know.
Or is it going to be middle?
How are they going to save time?
Just make 2 bans at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's the fastest way to do it.
Like in League of Legends, the way they have 10 bans.
5, right? Yeah, okay.
So 5 on each side, but what you do
30, 50 characters.
But what you do is all bans are at the beginning of the game. So right before the draft starts, as the draft starts, all 5 players on your team picks 5 heroes to ban, and the enemy team does the same thing, and then that's the bans, and then you guys pick.
So you could potentially have your team and the other team ban the same hero?
Yes. And if that happens, that happens.
Okay, well, let's not go down that rabbit hole of what could be or what couldn't be. I just think it's a cool idea that it's possible now that there could be third bands. Okay, so anything else on Deckard Cain? We good? Okay.
What do you think? PTR next week, probably.
It has to be.
It's been Phoenix for 2 weeks, and
it's
then
been
PTR.
2 weeks. PTR could go up as early as this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
One thing though. Congrats to Blizzard for giving him a trait that tells the support to be near allies. The same as Cassia's passive, right? Where you're supposed to auto attack and move. They're teaching the community what you should be doing. That is really good.
I don't think
his trait's called group up, dumbass. So that's
exactly.
Pretty on the nose. It's pretty on the nose.
Yeah, unless nobody's soaking, and you're like, well, fuck. You know what? Now let me just run around with these idiots. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but thank you, Blizzard, for doing that, for encouraging the right thing to do.
And apparently, just like how Mosh Pit has its own music, stay a while and listen. He starts telling a story for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool audio. I wonder if there's like different variations. Like if it's if he gets a solo 5-man stay a while and listen and no allies are around him, will he say something different than when it's like a 5v5 stay a while and listen?
He's like, this is when the game ends.
It's like he's by himself and all 5 players are in front of him. He's like, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? This stay a while and listen ends or something.
I will say I'm a little disappointed. He has no ability or talent related to town portals.
Oh, that's too much.
His herp animation is he jumps in the portal, right?
That's the Hearthstone animation where he jumps in the portal.
I don't know what that means.
Hearthstone.
Well, it's kind of like her thing back to the base.
Storms.
You know, it's
Altar
like
storms.
If he had that as like a level 20 where he just opens up the portal and he can go back to base and can go back in that to wherever he cast it at.
That's so OP.
That's too much.
Yes,
that's a Medivacs upgrade, but better.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to the patch. So, huge patch today.